Travel and Leisure Company reported quarterly results before the bell. Travel demand expected to remain high through the summer. An uncertain stock environment, though, and high consumer debt continue to weigh on shares of ticker symbol TNL. Joining me now to discuss the summer travel season and timeshare demand as well, Mike Brown, Travel and Leisure Company CEO. Mike, great to have you here with us. First, take us into some of the numbers. We've already spoken with several airline CEOs looking across the travel demand landscape and saying that this resurgence is still high right now in travel that's recovering from some of the pandemic lulls. So what are you seeing from Travel and Leisure side?
Add to the commentary that the travel demand, especially in the leisure space, is not slowing. We expected with the macroeconomic news for there to be a little bit of softening in the first quarter, but it just didn't happen. And now that we're almost through April and gearing up for the summer months, there's really no signs that leisure travel is diminishing whatsoever. We have a lot of different indicators that lean demand is going to stay strong in the summer months. Most importantly is our forward bookings. They look exactly like they did in 2022. And given that booking window that we have takes us all the way through the summer, we're expecting a really strong summer demand season.
We have been having conversations with people in every kind of industry about pricing. And so I would ask you that as well. You saw vacation ownership revenue up 12%. If bookings are about the same as they were, trending the same as they were in 2022, are you guys taking price there? And what kind of acceptance of those higher prices are you seeing on the part of consumers?
Great question, Julie, because in 2022, we definitely saw a resurgence in the second quarter as people were coming out of this sort of post-pandemic feeling of recovery travel. And Q2 was extremely strong. And those trends continued, and we were able to move pricing along with it throughout 2022 without any deterioration of our key performance metrics. So as we roll into 2023, again, we continue to watch those sales metrics that we have, and they're not diminishing whatsoever. The way we described it on our call this morning is the positive trends of 2022 are continuing all the way to the end of April of this year. So yes, we are able to pass along price increases. The consumer does not seem to be resistant to them. But I think if we learned anything coming out of COVID is people will not give up their free personal travel. And we're seeing it, a quarter of the way through 2023.
Are there any material shifts that you're seeing in the travel side of the experience economy, whether that be in the number of travelers that want to stay at perhaps a large resort versus renting at a bed and breakfast or renting some other property as well?
Well, I think there's a few macro trends that we can all acknowledge, whether it's in the timeshare space or the vacation rental space, is the macro trend is clearly that people want more space when they travel. The hotel companies are moving into the space. We already know about the VRBOs and Airbnb. And the timeshare space has been there for a very long time. We offer niche product in the sense that you get the larger accommodation, you get it with amenities so families can travel. And I think more than anything in this inflationary environment, you get that with value. 80% of our owners have fully paid for their vacation already, which means when it comes to the fall or when there is a economic downturn, they're not having to choose whether they want to swipe their credit card for a first time or for their next vacation. They've already done it with us. So there's tremendous value in our product. So our niche is doing extremely well for the remainder of 23, regardless of the macroeconomic impact. I think more on the shorter term, we are seeing confidence come back to the consumer as longer haul international travel is surging. It's getting back to those 19 levels, which has been a laggard throughout 2022. So a nice trend that's returning for mid to long haul travel.
Mike, this is something we've asked you about before, just to get an update on it. The demographics of folks who are buying timeshares here, what do they look like right now?
52% of our new purchasers are either millennials or Gen X. we are actually starting to see the Gen Z population show up. For the first time, we're starting to see that as a representation of our new owner base. So it is what we've always seen, which is usually once the family forms and people have a little more stable income, timeshare is a great choice because, as we talked about in the earlier question, more space, with the brands, which is 80% of our industry today, great hospitality brands like Wyndham, Hilton, Marriott, Disney, Holiday Inn. That's how people want a vacation. And as a result of that, generationally, it's beginning to get younger and younger. The average age of a new timeshare owner in the industry is 39 years old, which will be a surprise to many people. And for ourselves, we're seeing our economic household income move up to around $105,000.
Interesting. Mike, good to catch up with you. Thanks. Mike Brown, Travel and Leisure CEO. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your time today.